lack of thought, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I even engaging? Like, let's just go celebrate her someplace else and love everything that she has done and is doing, you know?
Right. I'm here for that. Even though I'm not a big fan of her character, I'm a big fan of the fact that she has this character. The fact that there is a Michael Burnham brings joy to me because I have 3 daughters who were weaned on Star Trek, whether they want to tell you that or not. But I need them to see these representations all the time. That's why, you know, they're doing the things they're doing. And I think a lot of girls need to see this. Even I know on our Uhura podcast, we were talking about the generations that, you know, see her differently. And I know JD had said, you know, yeah, I know her, but what I like to see these people, but I want to know, what are they doing? Just being there is not enough. And Michael fits that. She's not just there. She's doing everything. You know, there isn't any, I mean, it drives us crazy, but there isn't anything she cannot do. So I think that kind of fits there where it's we all know Black women can do a lot because.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. Like, I mean, her character representation really represents what Black women do already, you know, and
on the regular,
always on the regular. I mean, since day one, we've always carried the bulk of the burden for everybody and made everything okay. And we don't get diddly squat of recognition for ever doing it. You know, the closest we got in the last election, there was a great meme going around on the cup that said, "Fuck it, I'll do it. Black women." You know, like, you know, if you want this election won, who do they come to? Black women to mobilize and get everybody out and push that vote over, you know, and, you know, and it's just what we've done continuously since slavery.
Yes.
You know, since slavery, you know, we're out there, you know, working in the fields as well as being raped, as well as bearing all these children that nobody wants to get taken and taking care of other people's children too, and blah, 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 you know, and so, and it just continues, as well as cooking for the man when he came home, as well as doing this, you know, and being the solace and the comfort and the spiritual guidance and everything. All the time. And it's always been unsung. And not only has it been unsung, but our roles in the world have been denigrated and downplayed.
Yes.
You know, consciously. So it's vitally important to see somebody like Michael Burnham, who is absolutely capable, and being a Black woman in all the glory that truly is for everybody to see.
Yep. Yeah, and the fact that Sonequa,
tell it to me,
right, and the fact that the actor who plays that role understands all of that.
Yes,
makes this role it just makes the role. I mean, if she was just an actor who played the role and didn't get it, it just wouldn't be. It wouldn't be worth talking about. We wouldn't be talking about her ad nauseum, these podcasts, and everybody going in on her character or praising her character, because Sonequa understands what's going on and is a Star Trek fan. It just makes it more pleasurable to watch. You know?
Yeah, she gets
her
position. She gets what she means to all of us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move on to another question, and that's the one that I know. I'm going to start this one with JD. What do you think about? Yeah, what do you think about the relationship of Burnham and Book? And keep it clean.
Yes. Oh wow! I thought I was going to. Now we're going to keep it clean. Get the crying question.
Well,
but okay.
Look who you're asking.
Yeah. All right, JD.
I don't like. I feel I'm being utterly maligned. Like, is this because I ranked him an 8? Like, I'm sorry, but there was criteria. But no, I actually really like their relationship, and I like that she's grown into a person who can be in a relationship, because with her and Ash, they were both like way too dependent, and like even in season 2, when like she finds out that her mom was a part of Section 31, she lacks emotional depth to handle it, and instead she just kind of takes it out on Ash. And he's used to being in contact, so he goes with it, and that's just a terrible combination. So I like that. Like, she's pointing, so like, if I have emotions now, I can talk through them. If I have feelings about you, I will, like, we're gonna work together. She was not that person in season 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the year alone did a lot for her to make her ready for Book when she was with Book during that year. So we haven't seen what was going on yet for them, but I do love that relationship because really she hooked up with Ash and all she knew was that he was a great pilot and a good dancer, and she was off to the races.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
And sometimes,
no joke.
I've done about that. Yeah. What kind of car are you driving? Yeah, baby, let's go.
Hitting that lovers rock. Hitting that lovers rock. Oh yeah.
All she needed. And the next thing we know, Burnham was off. But she took her time with Book. So I did really like the way they set up this whole relationship. This is one arc that I enjoyed, even though I wanted them to get to the good stuff, but I was happy that they took it really slow.
Agreed.
The way they did with Ash.
Wouldn't you guys love to see some of that year in novelization?
It's coming out.
So.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's a novel on its way. So if you check, I think Trek News, I think it was just out this week. They had the cover was released. So there's a new novel coming out.
Sweet. Yeah, Carolyn, she would love to see that. Yeah,
it's about the year that they were together, or the year away. Yes, and I think her and Book are on the cover. So
because they crack me up because they actually talk like a couple that's been together for a year. They'll say, "Hey, well, why don't we do what we did like back in so and so's house?" Okay, that'll work. And they know what they're talking about.
Right.
Nobody else knows. I want to go back and get all the references in season 3 that they made about something they did. I just love the way they are together. And I think the two actors definitely have really great chemistry. So that's working. Not that she and Ash did not, but that was just a doomed relationship.
Well, that was
because they were both. I mean, they were both issues. I mean, poor Ash, he just had so many issues.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, the Killian thing first of all.
But you didn't know when Volk was coming back, so
didn't know what was going on.
No,
so messed up.
Yeah,
but okay, so we love Book. We all love Book. Is that what I'm getting here? I got 4.
Yes.
4.
Can we talk about Book for a minute?
This is a Michael Burnham podcast.
Oh, right. I'm sorry, but it's hard.
I want to talk about Book.
It's hard not to.
Remember, we're on a panel, so.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put a picture of him up here on my other screen and just stare at that for a minute. That one when he's coming out the water with no shirt on. Oh my Lord.
Oh my God. I know it. Oh.
Stop it.
No. So So here's my other thing. I'll wait to see what grunge is, because if grunge ends up being like competition for Michael, this is gonna be hilarious. If she's some kind of
I don't know what's happening with that cat.
What's with the cat?
Yeah,
that's the only flag I have with Book. What's with the cat?
Yeah, I don't get the cat, but okay.
That's not I mean, I'm just waiting to hear that story, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's a Gary 7 cat.
I love the fact that he's got this relationship with Grudge. I love a man who loves a cat.
He does love that cat. That's a beautiful cat. All right, so last question, and we're going to wrap it up. Shirtless Book is going to take us to the next question. We've got Michael in the captain's chair, getting ready to fly, looking fly, got the braids, got the gray. I'm like, was loving the whole daggone thing. So I know we don't like to make predictions, but what would you like to see her do with this position in season 4?
I want to see Michael get her own Michael. Like, let's see her deal with that.
I'm with you on that one. Yeah.
Like, this is Lower Decks here. It's Mariner, and this is what this is. But
brilliant.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's
have a
she
child
likes it.
Just like you.
Oh.
Tamia, what do you want to see her do?
Well, I don't know that how much specifics I have in mind. I'm just really interested in seeing her in command finally. You know,
Yeah.
I want to see her command style. I want to see her take care of some stuff. I want to see, you know, and I don't want to see her solving problems the way that we're used to seeing her solve problems. I want to see her grow into a captain that consults their team, you know, and recognizes that they don't have all the answers and that all the problems aren't on their shoulders, you know. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to seeing a captain who is actually in a healthy relationship. You know, I'm looking forward to more of that positive Black love being
Ooh,
shown.
baby. Yeah,
you know.
I'm loving that part. Yvette, what would you like to see happen?
With Michael, I kind of wanted
Michael
to see
the captain.
Michael the captain. I just want to see better storyline as a captain. I want to see that Kirkism going. I want to keep that going. But as captain, I want to see her kirking it up. Yeah, I want to see her take charge of that ship. I want her to go ahead and bring the Federation back together. I want her to continue to be the hero as the captain. I want her to use her crew more. But I definitely want to see her continue to save the world as usual, because that's what captains do. That's what Federation captains do.
Yeah, I want to see her. I want to see her be key in rebuilding the Federation.
Right.
You know, repairing subspace, getting those relationships back. I kind of really want to see her. We saw a lot of it, so I don't know how much of it they're really going to do. But I would love to see her go back to Vulcan and rebuild that relationship with the Federation, because she is of Vulcan. So I just would like to see a little more of them in this, and her, because she really kind of just lost it all. You know, she was like, yeah, I've been living on Vulcan. And then she like met Ash and everything blew up and she was crazy and crying all the time. And then, you know, it's like, whoa, what happened? And then when she went back to Vulcan, that one where she went back to Vulcan, I enjoyed that so much, to see her in that world, giving them back their lines. I know your history. I know your rules. I know all this stuff because I lived there. I enjoyed that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a great point that's in the chat too.
What's that?
From Homer. Homer Frizzell is here, everybody. Homer Frizzell in the house.
Oh, you want to see? Do you want to? Homer says he'd be interested in seeing her sending others on away missions and having Tilly pull a Riker and keep her captain safe.
Do you
think? Okay, last question. I'm going to throw it in. Do you think Tilly's going to be #1?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so. I hope not.
No,
I really hope not.
No from Yvette. JD, what do you say? We got 2 no's.
I think, based on the convoluted logic they use, where she won the ship popularity contest, yes, she will.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm like, I that would really disappoint me if they make Tilly the #1. If, you know, acting #1, all right. But if Owo doesn't get it, I'm going to be upset. Okay, that's.
But is Owo next in line?
No, I think isn't I heard Stamets was next in line. Who's next in line?
No, he needs to be down there with the spores.
He's not #1 material.
No, he's not #1 material.
But
no,
isn't
not at all.
What's her name? The one that we kept missing.
Oh, it's season 1 Arium, whatever her new name is.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Nielsen.
Next in line.
Yeah,
I believe she is.
I would be okay with Nielsen being #1. I really would be okay with that.
Yeah, I would be okay with that too.
Next, yeah, and then I think it's
They need to bring my girl Nan back though. I was mad when they lost her.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
I'm like, really? You're letting her stay on a planet? But I hear that she's supposed to be coming back next season.
Got to be.
Yeah.
We don't know how long Saru is going to be away. That's another question from the chat in the panel. We don't know. They haven't indicated.
Yeah, I just assumed Saru was coming back to be #1 though.
The only thing that they've indicated is that he will be back next season, but they didn't indicate when or how long. You know, like are they going to take the whole season to get him back, or are they going to get him back in a couple of episodes?
I think we'll see him on his planet doing whatever. He's going to go back.
I see a really nice comment in the chat where Justen Perry, you should check out his art. He said there should be a new character as like the number one. And I believe that leads right back to my Michael needs a Michael. Just give us a new Michael, someone just like her, just as stubborn and just as little like, no, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to talk to you.
Well, they might give her a number one that is from the present day Federation, just to
yes,
meld it in. She's got all Discovery people, so they might want to bring someone that has the new technology. That's what I would do if I were Vance. I would integrate that crew with some people that are from the now time, but I'm not Vance. But anyway, we are probably on time. What do you say? I think maybe Captain of the Holder, are we on schedule? Should we wrap this up?
Yes.
All right. So Tamia, you want to let everybody know where they can find the Sci-Fi Sistas? I hope you enjoyed our talk about Michael. We're going to wrap this up from the virtual con here with the USS Holder. Black Excellence. Yes, Star Trek Experience. Thank you so much for having us as guests and letting us do this live podcast. Tell them, girl, where can they find us?
So you can find us at sci-fi-sistas.com. That's SYFY-SISTAS.com, or on Facebook. We have a page, as well as we have two groups, the Sci-Fi Sistas Mothership. That's MUTHASHIP, the Mothership, where we get down and have a good time traveling the galaxy and the spaceways, as Sun Ra would say. And we also have the Sci-Fi Sistas Book Club, which is a virtual online book club where we meet every other month, and we read science fiction and fantasy by, for, and about Black folks and other persons of color. And that's pretty much it. You can also find us on Instagram at sci-fi.sistas and on Twitter at Sci-Fi Sistas.
And we would like to give a shout out to our sound engineer who's going to take this tape and make something out of it. Dose the Anonymous One.
Dose the Anonymous One. Dose the Anonymous at Dose the Anonymous One, the number one at gmail.com. He's also responsible for all the fabulous music that you hear on our show. So any cool, groovy, bumping tunes that you hear comes from Dose's awesome brain.
And with that, we're out.
Out.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Dose Vidania.
That's it, folks.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
You guys are great.
And just remember, we have a salon.
Thank you.
We have a salon tomorrow, right after the con is over. We're having a salon, which is we're doing Lovecraft. I don't know if you've watched Lovecraft, but we did a
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
HBO show,
So we did a watch the whole month, and it was interesting. So if you've watched Lovecraft Country, join us for our salon tomorrow at 4:30. That's 16:30 for you military types.
And even if you haven't, join us, because there's
Join
a
us
lot
anyway.
of great stuff. It's a lot of great. Just Carolyn's got a hand raised. Come on, girl.
Yes, I have a question. That was great panel, but I just want to tell you, recording wise, I boo-booed and unmuted, so there's my voice in there.
That's okay.
Well,
Don't worry about it.
yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it's
Well,
easy
one
for
little-
us.
Flavor. It's called flavor.
Well, I'm really sorry. And I'm like, oh wait, it's supposed to be muted when it's not joined in right now. So I just, I was trying to figure out where, but anyway, great panel.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
so
everybody,
take a
for
look
sticking
for that
around and hanging out with us.
Yeah, we appreciate you, because now we're all set for our podcast.
Should be back
this
on
week.
schedule? No,
We're
you're a little,
back
we're still a
on.
little bit. No,
So
no, about 15 minutes behind.
whenever the next panel is ready, it's all on you.
Is it Justin's panel? Hey, JR.
Hi, JR.
Justin, do you want me to do anything, or are you gonna take care of everything?
Anybody know who Carol T is, since I got you speaking?
Anybody? Carol T?
No.
No.
They can hang out. Maybe they'll message me in the comments. Homer, you got co-hosts? And JR,
I do.
can you make him co-host as well? Well, I guess that's still Darlene, I guess.
I think
Thank y'all. That was great. That was a great podcast, man. That was really cool. Y'all, it was like y'all were in a recording studio and we were out You know what I'm saying? In the
Yeah,
little waiting area.
That's what we do.
Record now.
That's pretty much how it goes.
We just sitting there looking at y'all, waving and stuff through the glass.
You gotta read the chat. Make sure the chat comments are great. Thank you guys. That's really fun.
I know, right?
Yeah,
the
that
chat comments were
great.
awesome. Chat was rolling.
Yeah,
Justen,
we had a little mini chat pack. Hey, home.
You may want to adjust your video so we see the top half of your head.
Oh yeah.
You. Yes. We're so used to it. I didn't even say anything.
I know.
We're used to not seeing Justen.
Because this upcoming
Like the
panel,
Batman-
we want to
Batman
see
of-
you.
I hear you. Thank
Can
you, brother.
someone make JR a? Oh, never mind. I'm slow.
I made JR, Homer, and Justen.
somebody-
Darlena, do you know Carol T?
No, I don't.
You want to try it?
She could be legit. You can try it.
No,
Because
No.
honestly, no.
I put in the security.
He said no. Security said no.
Can somebody lower Carolyn's hand?
Oh, sorry. I can lower Carolyn's hand.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
Maybe checking Facebook for
We did.
Carol T.
That's what I was doing.
Okay,
Every
yeah.
time someone
Okay.
comes in,
No,
I
he's
try
been
to-
doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I check
good. I don't
That's
have
why
to
I
worry
said-
about
I
that.
also check the Starbase, and I check the holder every time a name comes
Awesome.
up to see if it
Yeah.
comes from anywhere.
This is under control. That's great. When do you guys want to kick this one off? Should
When-
we start now?
Whenever you're ready.
Whenever you guys are ready.
How about
sure.
6:05? Let's do 6:05.
Okay.
That's
3
fine.
minutes.
Sounds good.
3 minutes.
That's
All right.
perfect.
Cool. Be right back.
I'm going to
Yeah. Use the
I'm
bathroom.
gonna
Get some a snack.
stop my video so I can actually get some dinner going while I
Yeah,
listen
get
to
a
you
juice.
guys.
I will be right
Get
back.
the-
That
yeah,
salmon going.
yeah,
Yes. Even though it's
Well,
not
gotta get that
marinating.
food
It's gonna be great.
We gotta get that drink on.
I'm gonna play one more song from James album. How about that?
All right. Phew, I was so nervous doing the podcast.
No, it was
Really, you
great.
did great. You couldn't tell at all.
Oh, you didn't see me like going through my notes and the paper.
No,
Oh
and we
my
didn't
God.
hear it either.
I know, huh? I know.
Wonderful.
I didn't have
For
the
the
mic.
people just listening.
We put
Are you
Poole.
playing it from your stereo?
Yeah, is that too much?
Yeah, no, I'm saying, yeah, when you play, I was thinking about doing the same thing too, but it's like the sound, it comes in and out like the way it does.
Yeah,
And
we
then-
can't
Oh,
hear
it's
it
kind of
very
like
well.
Yeah.
suppressed.
And I was
gotta
going
be close.
to pull down from my YouTube, but then I'm recording, so I couldn't. I think in the future
got
I'm going to download stuff to my laptop and then set it up.
I got you. Well, we'll just chill out until it's time.
I think if you have it like close enough to the speaker, it'll come through. But you know, it was sounding
Yeah, I
fine.
think because it was last time, everyone was just kind of like chilling and stuff. Nobody was doing anything. That's probably why I picked up. Let me try it again.
Wherever I go,
That's
in the
fine.
roaring traffic boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think
That was one of the things I wanted to do. I wanted to have an after work, like meet up, and we'll have a James Darren theme, and everybody will have virtual backgrounds, like from his time period.
James Darren,
Yeah.
my God.
Mhm.
Oh my God. You saw me
In the
perk up when I heard that.
Vegas
I was like,
lounge.
my life making love to you day and night, night and day.
I paid for my picture. I had paid for a picture on the cruise with him.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? Especially after I chased him down in the cigar room, the cigar bar.
In the storm that won't be through, you let me spend my
Ooh,
life
look at Homer.
love to you day and night, night and day.
I used to love it when they would go to the to Vic's.
Vix,
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have a Vix happy hour. That's right.
You should.
Mm-hmm.
The chat pack is having a Vic's happy hour.
Vix happy hour.
How do you guys get a background that looks clear like that? Like I do a background and it's all fuzzy.
Who? Me?
Anybody?
Oh,
You see
wait,
that?
I got the wrong background. I gotta go back to the holder.
Hi,
Wonderful.
JR. How are you?
How y'all feeling? Y'all ready to go?
Yeah, but
Pretty much. Who's doing the recording? Because I feel as though when someone is speaking, they should be in the spotlight view.
Yeah, we have
Well, the
the
recording is
speaker
just
view.
happening now. So what's going on?
yeah, but he's saying who's got control of the
Okay. Yeah, I can do that as well.
view.
Yeah. Because I want to
There
spotlight
you go.
you two guys primarily.
Okay.
And then also later on, I'll be sharing my screen. And so I want to make sure people can see that too. I don't like seeing myself. How do I do to turn that off?
I got you.
Thanks. Whew. Thank you.
I can see you.
That was disconcerting. Okay. Seeing Sabrina is much better.
I'm laughing because I'm
She's
laughing. So I can't stop laughing.
This is gallery.
Oh, good. Shall we start?
And then this
Sure.
is speaker.
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I have the pleasure of moderating this panel, and this panel is a salute to terraforming. And I said, Darlena, what? And it makes total sense now after she has explained it to me, in that you are changing, and Darlena, you can jump in here if you need to, but you are, through art, you are changing the world, essentially. And terraforming, as you know, you're making a place that's uninhabitable or barely habitable, something that's better and more habitable. So that's where the title for this panel came from. And we have two artists with us, and I will introduce them. I have some questions that I have prepared. I expect the folks in the audience will have questions as well. I'm not sure at the moment how to logistically handle that. I am not a Zoom guru, but I think that people could, at their discretion, unmute themselves and ask their questions, because this is mainly going to be a conversation with JR and Justen about their arts, but I think it would be great to have your questions as well. Okay.
How about
with that,
how about maybe they could put their hand up, or they could put their question in the chat? One of those, is that okay?
yeah. So I'm not seeing visually, since I said, hey, let's do speaker view. So I'm seeing you big screen right now.
Okay.
So I won't see it if it's a physical hand, but if there's a hand that's up within the chat itself,
I can help you with that. We can help you with
awesome.
that. Yeah.
I can tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just see how this goes.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to introduce folks. So first off, we have JR Poole. JR is from Detroit, but is now in Pittsburgh. I've seen some of his art, and I have a feeling he may be a Bucks fan and also a Steelers fan. So I don't know what happened to the Lions or the Tigers, but that's something else we can talk about another time. Originally, and we'll get into this a little bit in a bit, JR, you were looking to become an architect, and there was a circuitous route, I guess, and plus there's a lot. I mean, I'm really curious to hear you tell the story rather than trying to have me recount it. You had some posters in Detroit. You colorize historical photos. I actually have 3 items here that you have created. I'm not highlighted, so anyway, we'll get to them later. And you are the creator and originator of the Black Heroes movement. So welcome, JR. JR,
Hello, everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And with us also, we have Justen Perry. Justen is from North Carolina, born and raised. I don't know how far Roxborough is from Raleigh, but he's in Raleigh now. I think you're zooming in from there, Justen. And
yes,
he is also known as, or his work is known as Just Genius Art.
Thank you. Thank you.
He does pencil sketches, acrylic paintings, watercolors, and digital art. Please welcome Justen Perry.
Hey, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So I should also be checking the chat as things happen. Okay, good. Will these be watchable later? That's a good question. I think so. Okay. So I'm going to start off with a couple of softballs, I think. So JR, talking to you about Detroit and Pittsburgh, can you tell us about your journey between those two places and take us through how you I'm trying to figure out how, like, I read your bio. I was like, no, I can't sum that up. So tell us about your journey, about where you are now, and like the ups and downs from Detroit to Pittsburgh, if you would, please.
I went to what we call in Detroit a choice high school, and there was only 3 in the city, and it was for the smart, well-to-do kids. How I got in there is my grandfather knew the principal, so that was it. So I went to a good high school, and they had majors there. So my major was architecture. My grandmother thought that I'd be an architect or a cartoonist, which has nothing to do with the other. So I went, and my senior year, I didn't want to do it anymore because there was lots of math involved. So I wanted to do graphic design and did that instead. So yeah, I'm sorry. I was hearing some sounds in my ear. I went to, where did I go? Savannah College of Art and Design for a tour. I thought I was going to do photography for a minute, and that didn't work itself out. So I did end up going to school for graphic design, and then to Pittsburgh to finish up my degree. Just wanted to get away from home. I figured if I was driving, I didn't want to drive too far. Pittsburgh is real nice. So when I went there, I was like, all right, I'll stay here. I am not a Steelers fan because I don't watch football. As Ryan might have mentioned, I do watch tennis. So I don't watch football, baseball, or basketball. That's it. Oh, is there something else? I could keep going forever.
Could you? I just want to ask you about Zipcar.
Why?
Okay, well, maybe we'll come back to that later.
Zipcar it's a car sharing program, and
yeah,
it's when I sold it, I was like one of those street selling people. I actually enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed the conversations you had, trying to change people's mind into this new way of transportation. I was all for it because I didn't have a car and I walked to work. So if I needed to go somewhere, and the cars are parked in the neighborhood. So you just walk to the car, scan your card and get in it and go. I was all for it. Like your little shuttle pod waiting for you.
Yeah. Cool. No, I thought from your bio, there was some sort of artistic stop off that was fueled by Zipcar.
Not really, but when you want to be a working designer, a working artist, you try to find a way to design something at each job you go to. And I was designing some flyers for our local office, which had to be approved from corporate. So I kind of felt like that was a stepping stone to corporate design, which then led into the job that I've had now for 11 years working at the sign company in Pittsburgh.
Awesome. All right. Justen.
Yes.
So I left out a lot, I'm sure. So can you give us a little bit about your journey and how you have come to be where you are with your art?
Yes, thank you. My journey consisted of not seeing representation. Roxborough is about an hour from Raleigh. And since the 80s until the 90s, we've developed from an agricultural community, literally people growing up pulling tobacco, to working and being able to do solar panels and get jobs at Duke University, which would involve STEM and maybe light work, and you might can go to a certification program, and then that'll lead into school, and then that'll lead into more schooling for you to get better jobs, better certificates.
Yes,
so
yes.
I always really loved how there were pathways for us to work 9 to 5, but there was nothing for an entrepreneur to strike out, and especially as an artist. My brother started off as a MC, as a rapper, and that was something that he championed in our family, so much so that it really disturbed everyone, because it was like, you can't commit to art full time. You're going to be broke. You're going to be living with us. We can't have that. Go ahead and get you a job here. Go ahead and get you a job there. And I would hear that, and I would kind of agree, because I'm like, you're messing up, man. What are you doing? Like, you're so smart, and you're going to put it in art? That's crazy. And when I started to get into art, it was because of my brother and because of my family and so many other folks. But when I'd advanced in it, I got to a plateau that I just really couldn't see it, especially in Roxborough. And so it took me traveling, and took me going into new places, like up the East Coast, family in New Jersey, family in New York, even going overseas to see, like, oh, wow, there are people that can actually work full-time in art, make a difference in their community with art, and also have people see them as something valuable. You know, it's not a secret, or it's not something that should be hid away, like, oh, you know, he didn't really have a job, he just sells pictures, you know, like, no, he is an artist. And when I started to put that on myself and manifest that energy, I am an artist, I am a spoken word poet, I am a photographer, then all of those elements seem to attract towards me. And I realized that was something that I wanted all the time. And why do I have to be this other person 9 to 5 and then afterwards become an artist? I'm always an artist. So it for me, especially the last, I would say, 2 years, believe it or not, COVID has not, I wouldn't say helped, because I was very drowning at the beginning. I had lost my job. I didn't know what I was doing on a day-to-day basis. I didn't know if I was going to have to move out of my home, move back home. You know, I really didn't know what was going on. And I would just constantly draw and constantly paint. And a lot of those paintings and drawings that I did during that time, I've been able to sustain my life without having to go back to that 9 to 5. So it was there, and I didn't know. And it was because it was such limited representation. And that's one of the reasons why I love Star Trek, because that, when it clicks, when you see it there, when you see Avery Brooks on his on JR's default pick, it just makes a complete difference.
Yeah.
It just complete, you don't even think. And I was like, you know what? That's the power of art in itself. You can see a picture and you don't have to say nothing. You don't have to even blink your eye. Like, you can have a conversation with 4, 5, 6, 7 different people, and they'll all have different views and different individualities based upon that one image. And if it's positive, it will literally be 7, 8, 9 different positive viewpoints. And I'm like, wow, that's the power of art, is the ability to change without even speaking.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to let people know that I think I've gotten good enough that if you want to put a question into the chat, I could read it, or you can pose the question yourself. So I'm getting even more comfortable in what I'm doing. So I have a question for you both, related to the art and creating the art. And it's kind of a fairly standard question, I think. Take us through a day in the life of creating a project, and let's pretend it's a new project that you're brainstorming about it. So it's kind of also about where do the ideas come from, and also what sort of inspirations have you taken from, now this is going to be like a 20-minute answer, but what kind of inspirations do you take from other artists in the world or other media?
For inspiration.
Thanks, JR.
At the Art Institute, we had the like special designers, like a upperclassman type of room that these designers would work in, and they had posters everywhere. And I thought that that's what artists need, is to see art constantly. You need constant stimulation. At least I do. I convinced my boss at the Art Institute if I could work from home, and she said, "Well, you better get some work done." It was because I had a TV on. I like commercials. And so I get ideas from commercials. I get ideas from billboards. The 3 cars that you showed, the inspiration are movie posters. I really love movie posters. So the job that I have now at the sign shop is just typesetting. I'm a glorified typesetter. I really didn't do things artsy until last year, and it was diving into it. What do I want the end result to be? And then you start working away at that. I like stories. So when you're looking at some of my, the newest art, there's a story involved there. Justen said like he's a rapper. I want to kind of dive into a little bit of writing myself. So on the 7th rule page, when I did the Nog poster, it was, what is that picture telling a story of? And then also allow the audience to have their own story as well. It was quite fun to make. And speaking of Nog, when he's talking to Captain Sisko in his office, and he said he didn't want to be like his father. In Detroit, everyone is working at the big 3. And I didn't want to be one of those people that just worked at the automobile factory. And I had that conversation with my dad not shortly after seeing that episode, was I want to do design, and we always think of starving artists, and I didn't want to starve. So what do we have to do? The nurturing at the time wasn't there. So like, where do you find the motivation? And it's really tough to dig within. So about the day, your daily life is to wake up. I'm going to design. What time is it? I'm going to design every single day. And whether it happens or not, you just keep going.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm a just pick that right up. Consistency is inspiration. Seeing, especially other artists, that's my inspiration. So like immediately when I saw who was coming up on the panels and such, this is from Friday nights, and this is wonderful. So I can eat this up all day, and this will recharge my batteries. And then I would be like, man, what kind of comic books can I do? Like, like who's this and who's that? And then my brain starts to bubble and pop. Of course, Star Trek is inspiration, not so much so for the comfort zone, or not just that, but also what is constantly said. You can leave it on in the background, and then you'll hear something deep, and you'll be like, hey, what's that going on? And then you'll have a little 10-minute little Picard speech, something like that, and then you can go back to what you're doing. So for me, it's not necessarily a constant amount of stimuli. I actually need a sacred space. So that's one of the reasons why I play music, because for me, it just sets a tone, as I'm able to just ride on that vibration. I breathe, I think about what this music is making me feel like, and that happiness that I'm looking for is already within me. And so is the creation, and so is the art. So if I am vibing in the correct mode and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do on a consistent basis, the art is just going to come out. So even yesterday during the event, like it's always commonly said, like Justen is always moving when you see him in these Zoom talks. It's because I love y'all, and that love helps me create other art pieces. So I'm moving to another piece of art. I'm moving to another piece of creation that I may have been stalled in, that in my mind, I said, you know what, this is some crap. I actually can't draw. I actually can't do what I'm doing. I don't know what this is. And then once I start recognizing this is a low vibe, this is not where I'm supposed to be at. I am an artist. I am a poet. I am a representation of the Federation in present times. And then it's just like, bam, I'm back in it. And it's not that easy. It took a long time. I didn't ask for permission. I asked for permission from my parents so many times to be like, I want to do something different. I just don't want to be here and then go to work. And they're like, well, just, pray on it and think about it, but go to work, and put the work in. And I didn't understand at the time. I was just thinking like, they just want me to be a slave like them, honestly. And I had to understand that I'm not the first slave. So I need to own up to the work I have to put in as a Black man, because I can't just go out and live free. I need to actually wrangle myself in, find out what's inside of me first. And I can do that in those situations, and more safely in a situation where working with a Fortune 500 company, going to school first, playing in athletes, or focusing on academia, and then going into art, or then going into creation, because it's not easy, and it's not necessarily always meant for us, but it's also something that we have to constantly put forth and put out there. Like I had to really just start becoming an artist. I couldn't let my parents say, hey, it's time for you. Oh, I think it's good for you now. Once they saw me in a gallery, once they saw me having people come to my show, then they was like, my son is an artist. But they always knew that, but it was just in them to be like, hey, please go to work and please get a paycheck first. Yeah.
I told a friend of mine.
Sorry, go ahead, JR.
That we spent too much time looking for art jobs, not being artists. And so this is somebody I went to school with in Pittsburgh. And when we graduated, we just kind of like, you fill out application, you go to these interviews, and you feel defeated. Like you're not finding a job. After 2 years of looking for an art job, I said to him, I said, we could have been artists. We just could have just been doing things for 2 years as opposed to looking to do things. Which changed my perspective. You figure like 10 years later, I'm like, I don't like talking about permission. I don't need your permission to create. Right. Just do it and share it.
So we have a question from the chat. Has anyone told you that your art making inspired them to make art?
About a month ago was the first time, you figure in a baker's dozen years, that I actually heard that from somebody. It was on Twitter when I made the one of those posters I tweeted, the Cisco one to Ira and Robert, and the Stacey Abrams one. Where someone on Twitter said, "This is so inspirational, I'm going to do something." And it's so touching to hear that for the first time in your life 2 weeks ago. When I work for the sign company, you just do real estate stuff and you see it out in the world, like, oh, I did that banner. But does that really inspire anybody to create? It was quite moving for someone to say, I see this, thank you, I'm going to do this now. I'm like, whoa, thanks. Real quick, one of my inspirations is Michael Okuda as a graphic designer. And when I got to meet him, it was the Star Trek tour. I had tweeted a cover of the technical manual, and the Star Trek tour said, hey, he's going to be here, he should sign it. I was like, cool, dope. How far are you away? So we get there, and you try not to fanboy out. and you're just talking to Michael Okuda. He's like standing right next to you. And I got to tell him that, you know, as a graphic designer, I was inspired to do things similar to what he was doing. And I used to design our college event posters with the labels of enterprise. So people, they were easy reads. People could walk over to it, read the little label, they knew what was happening. I was like, I'm converting people to Star Trek. I love it. Through design.
That's awesome. And he signed the book.
He did. He signed the book. I think Denise signed it as well. We got to take a picture in the captain's chair at the tour.
Nice.
So he said everybody can sit in the chair. So I walked over to him politely and I said, I didn't come here to sit in the chair. I came here to meet you. And he's like, oh. I said, would you mind taking a picture with me in the captain's chair? He said, sure. Let's wait for Denise to get done with that conversation. And I'm like, what? Denise too? Like, yes. So I have a photograph. There's me and both of the Okudas on either side of me in that picture.
That's awesome. Justen, so the same question for you. I mean, it's been a little bit since I asked it, but it's like, has anyone kind of said, you inspired me to make my art?
Yeah, the best version is my niece. I came back home and it was this little canvas and it was all done and it was nice. I was like, who did this? And she's like, oh, I just did this. And then while she said that, she was baking a cake. And I was like, you cooking now? Like, what's, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, wow. Like, you know, she said that, you know, me doing my thing made her want to be doing her thing. And she said she always wanted to do a YouTube channel where she was, you know, cooking and, you know, making little recipes and stuff, you know. So I was like, okay, all right, girl, you know, do your thing. I love that. And especially other artists, you know, one of the best things about at least Raleigh, there's a strong art community. So when you start to support local arts and you start to support each other, buying each other's books, coming to each other's shows, that right there is like a great, awesome chance to inspire each other, because you know what you need as an artist. You know what it feels like when someone comments on your pic or likes something or rehashes or reposts something that you put out there. So if you do that for someone else, it's like this constant flow of inspiration. So it just kind of goes back to the consistency thing. So typically the folks that have told me they were inspired by me, it was always based on my consistency. They would say, hey, you're always doing something. I always see a show, I always see another pic, I always see this. And they're like, well, if he doing X, Y, Z, then I can definitely do A or B. You know, it's been 5 years, so let me go ahead and do C, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a wonderful part, because then, like I said, it goes back to, it doesn't belong to me. If I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, they wouldn't have saw that picture, they wouldn't have been inspired, and then they wouldn't have created the art that they were supposed to make. So that's usually why I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to hear that.
Awesome. I know. I think I should probably take people on a tour of your respective websites now, because we don't have super long. So I'm going to try something challenging. I'm going to try to share my screen. Let's see. I tested this earlier and I was eventually successful, but I'm going to share this desktop. So you're going to see yourself for a moment, I think.
Thank you for the warning.
Yeah. Oops. I don't know what you're seeing. Uh-oh.
Seeing your desktop, I see a calculator.
That's exactly what I didn't want to do.
Superbly neat desktop.
Yeah. Yeah. Melissa said, hey, they're going to be recording, so make sure you don't show your desktop. Okay. So let me do that. So here we are.
Well, I'm unmuting to ooh and ah.
So, JR, I think you could take us through this and I'll scroll down as we go. This is Black Heroes Movement. I showed the cards earlier.
Yeah.
My
core elements is literacy, legacy, heroism, and perception. That is my nephew, and we did a photo. We did a photo shoot. So when we talk about representation, is either we had to sit and wait for someone to make it, or we make it ourselves. And there are a lot of people out there who are making things themselves. So we went out, took some pictures, and he's pretty good at modeling. He just struck a pose, and as a designer, I'm like, that's the poster. I'm lying on the ground taking this picture, and then I photoshopped in the energy. He's holding on to a pin because I didn't want young black men with guns.
Right.
So there's energy coming out of the pen. The pen is mightier than the sword, I told him. And that was our story for the rest of the photo shoot.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We went out
That's great.
yesterday and with the Doctor Who sonic screwdriver. So that was fun.
That's very cool. I want to, if you don't mind, go to the gift shop here.
Yeah.
So people can get an idea of what they could get. And I will say, and I don't see this on the site, but I have seen Sirach Lofton wearing an Afronaut shirt.
Top left.
Was that the show? Oh, it is. Okay. His was, I think, black and white. So there it is. Okay, cool.
The black and white ones are exclusive. There's only 6 people who have them.
Okay. Well, then.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down here a bit. Here we have
I don't
the
even have a
cards.
black and white one. This is blue.
And so all of your items, they can just go to the site and you will send out stuff.
Yeah. There's the
High
military
quality.
banners, there's historical figures.
Oh, yeah. Right. So I saw the military banners. I had a question about that. Could you tell us about those and which ones you're doing? And I have to find it so I can bring them up.
I designed 3 different types, 3 different templates. Historically, we don't have that many military national figures that are African American or Black. That not too many holidays, even in the Black community. Even when you think about soldiers coming home from a battle, there's one bit of his history. There's a photograph of a young Black man who was hung. I think it's in the early 50s or late 40s, hanging in a tree, and he's wearing a military uniform. There's people in our families who just don't get the honor and attention for having served this country. I bought a book when I was in New York at the Star Trek tour. We went to the Fort Ticonderoga, I think it is, and the curator of the museum just so happened to be with the fort walking next to me, asking me how I was enjoying myself. I was telling her about the project. She was telling me about some Black historical figures in the late 1600s. And then I ended up buying a book about colonial soldiers from the late 1600s to the Civil War. We've done a lot for and within this country, and we know little. So I wanted to honor our Black soldiers with military banners. Pop them outside your house, put them in your yard.
Awesome. Okay, let me now try to more smoothly share. Okay, there we go. So Just Genius Art. Here we are on the landing screen. And yours, as I recall, it goes down a bit. So I'm going to scroll down, I think, or maybe I was thinking of a different page.
Yeah. So I have a little gallery and you can kind of scroll right into the About section.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do that. So I'll go into, whoops. How do I get? Thank you.
Love it, love it, love it.
And contact. There he is. If you want to contact him.
Yeah, that's the best.
And I
place.
want to get to the products, and I think, there we go. I think gallery is what I was looking for. So when you're sharing your screen, there's an annoying little bar.
Yeah. Can't get past the bar.
There we go.
There you go. Good job.
Well, I'm trying to get
Is that your brother? Is that your brother, Justen? With you in that picture?
Which one?
That one when he's holding up the artwork there.
That's my brother from another mother. That's one of my college roommates from St. Augustine's College. He's actually an ex-vet as well. He's been working. Say it again.
You went to St. Augustine?
Of course, yeah. I graduated in 2011 with a business administration degree.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, so that's just different times, different periods of me taking pictures. Above him is a mural that I did for the W.D. Hill Recreational Center. It was a landmark ceremony to mark the Algonquin Tennis Center. And you had Arthur Ashe play there. You had Athena Gibson play there.
Oh, wow.
Du Bois spoke about how important tennis was for Black folks in terms of celebrating and furthering that statue in life. Next to it is another mural that I did right behind St. Augustine's. There was Section 8 housing when I was there, and we were told point blank period, they're going to rob you because they're your college students. And so this is an all Black neighborhood, and this is mostly all Black college and university. And they're basically telling us our own people are going to harm us because we're more educated. Nothing ever happened to me in that neighborhood or anything, but it was definitely rough. And a lot of Raleigh has been gentrified. Literally people that have been living there post-slavery, some of the first free men communities like the Oakland community area, just completely gentrified. 90% of the people that lived there during the 50s, 60s, 70s, who were either descendants from war veterans that came back from World War II and started their community, they just got slowly pushed out. Their mortgages went from $200 to $1,800, like New York studio apartment prices. And it's just like nobody in Raleigh is making that much money. So they got pushed out, and this neighborhood was about to happen. And a lot of St. Augustine's alumni was able to come to that community. They had a housing authority there. They talked to them. They made a program to where they moved the Section 8 residents out, but then moved them right back into all new buildings, all new complexes, new daycare centers, new playgrounds. And they asked me if I would do a mural. And I did a paint by numbers mural because I wanted everybody to come and be a part of it because it was their community. So they were all able to just splash some paint on it and help me finish it.
So I did a test earlier about screen sharing, and apparently I didn't learn as well as I had hoped. But one of the things that came out of that was a question from my wife, Melissa. She said she really liked the Kirk is a Jerk artwork, and she wanted to learn more about it from you.
Wonderful. So that's a perfect example of doing what you are supposed to be doing, or in a sense, doing what inspires you. So that idea came from our ship's mini marathon that we had with the SY FY Sistas at the beginning of the year. So we had a New Year's marathon of TOS, the animated series. And this was just one of the funny scenes that was just a mashup of the collection of the day. And I immediately saw that and was like, yo, that would be a pretty cool shirt because it's kind of like an inside joke. You know, we would know what it kind of is, but other folks from TOS might recognize what that is. And you often don't see Kirk is a jerk. Typically people are putting him on a pedestal, which he deserves. And, you know, but it was funny because it just, every time I see it, I immediately think about, there was this like a love serum that made him really protective over Spock in a romantic way. And Yeoman came up and touched Spock and he turned around real quick. And I just remember like it was just a culmination of the memories and the fun and the love that we had that day. And so I was like, you know what, even if it doesn't get sold or whatever, this is more for me. So a lot of
Yeah.
times I have art projects or art pieces that I make just for me. I can care less if it's going to be sold. I can care less if someone else appreciates it. It just reminds me of where I was at a particular time. And so I love scrolling my website. I love saying my website, and then on my website, I get a little token, kind of like a little Easter egg that I put for myself.
That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share now. And I'm hoping that your websites and social media will be either posted in the chat or posted on the holder as well.
Yeah, I can post my website right now.
And so I've stopped the screen share. I think I did that right. And let me look at the chat because I wasn't able to see it while I was sharing. So there's a question about the Afronaut shirt. And it's the question is, so a seventh person can't have one?
Sure they can.
I know who that question is from. I don't even have to look in the chat.
Yes, that's right.
I was right. Oh God, I was right.
Yes. Okay, so Just Genius Art, that's posted out there. And then I have it right here. Let me just see. No. Oh, I thought I did. JR, would you please say your website's URL? I think it's fairly straightforward. I just don't want to mess it up.
The Black Heroes Movement.
Yeah.
.world.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
.world.
I didn't do a .com because there are heroes around the world.
I like it.
Yeah.
I celebrate Black History Month 3 times. Kind of doubly in February for the United States and Canada. And I believe it's October or November for the UK. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we've got Black folks all around the world doing.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't know we had Black History Month all around the world.
Yeah, there are all sorts of celebrations going on that we don't know about. Sometimes I think the United States is a little bit isolated.
Yeah.
In their knowledge about other people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Absolutely. I was always in shock when I was overseas and someone would point at me. I was always like, oh, they're about to call me Black. And they say, American, you're an American. And I'm like, hey, hold on now. Like, it's always kind of like, you don't get that in your own country a lot, to them to just be like, you're automatically a citizen. You always got to kind of be like, oh, but to have it put in your face, I was like, okay, I really do need to travel more because it's a completely different amount of perspectives all around the world that you can learn about.
Speaking around the world, on my website, there's a convention page where there's Black comic book conventions.
Oh,
and
cool.
I thought I was doing something novel. I was like, oh, Pittsburgh will have the first one. The first one was in Chicago in the 1990s. So there's about 14 of them in this country, the United States. And then you have 3 in Africa, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa. Australia has a Black comic book convention. The UK had one. Barbados has a very large cosplay convention. So when I hit the lottery, we're all going.
Hey.
Yeah.
A business write-off. We're all hopping on the plane going to Barbados.
Cosplay in Barbados. Okay. That's
that's sexy.
Sounds good.
One of the artists that was on our writers panel yesterday does a Black comic book festival in Jersey called Kim Fest.
Saeed.
And then he's a he's a big promoter for STEM projects also. And then there's I don't know if you heard of the Black Comic Fest here at BAM, Brooklyn Academy of Music. They kind of just got started, but they do a really good one. But I wanted to reiterate your point about when you were talking about Black military. I don't know if you got to catch the video that we showed earlier, the salute to Black military first. Yeah, so I was thinking about you when you were talking because a lot of a lot of people know of the Tuskegee Airmen and folks like that, but some of the people that we had showed on the Black military first are not often known, like the Golden 13, the first 13 Black officers to be commissioned in the Navy. And then we brought it up to now where it was a lot of Black men and women that achieved like the first to do something when it comes to the military. Like we had the first Black woman to be a four-star admiral in the Navy and all kind of stuff like that. So I'll share that with you because I can see that you like the military history too. So I'll definitely share that video with you because I think that card that you did, I think I would like something like that for the Golden 13 because I have their book. My dad was the one who told me that story because he being in the Navy at that time wasn't really no Black officers, and so he loved Fleet Week. And one of the reasons why he loved Fleet Week was he just loved seeing the Black officers walking around. And my dad had this way, young men just love to talk with him. So he could pull some officers over to the side and start telling them how proud he is to see them. And they would just sit there and go on and on and on and on. I couldn't get a picture or nothing, but you know, but it's like he just loves to talk to the Black officers, and they love to talk to my dad. So yeah, so I think I'm gonna definitely have you do something. Um, his brother would like that for the Golden 13.
That's
That
great.
little card that you did that you just showed.
Yeah.
Yes, he would like that.
My
So,
next series of cards is going to be Bessie Coleman, the Brown Condor, and one of the Tuskegee Airmen.
All right now.
Nice.
That's awesome. Darlena, Yvette, how much time do we have?
Oh, well, the last was the charity that we were just going to talk about the coat drive.
Because
So,
I have
the party's at 8.
okay. Because I have a couple more questions. Well, actually,
Yeah, good.
I am hoping JR might have a question for Justen and vice versa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, real quick, for your dad, does he know about the USS Mason?
Yes, I had that book too because he told me that story.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, my dad. Oh, I'm like the only one in the family that will listen to dad's stories. So yes,
Very good.
thank you. Yes, I'll be getting that too.
I don't have it, so put it in the chat. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I think it was like during World War II, was it?
Mhm.
One of the few Navy vessels that had a all-Black crew.
Oh
So
no, I never heard this.
I had heard a conservative radio host about 5 years ago said Black people did not fight in World War II. And I thought, like, why are you telling people this? So I just started looking up a lot of historical things 5 years ago.
I don't
And
think people
with
know
this,
that Google exists.
Wow.
it was very disheartening. Like you're saying actively that we didn't do anything. But my question to Justen, that you kind of touched base on it, was about inspiration, and I was thinking about music. What music makes you work the fastest?
I like versatility, so I'm always, that's why you see me drawing with a pencil, then you see me painting, and then you see me working on something 3D. I notice abstract, it's pretty funky jazz, you know what I mean? And like bossa nova music. I don't know why. Something about just that flavor. Just, I think it's something about the dancing for painting and making me move. When I'm drawing, it's usually hip hop. Yeah, so when I'm drawing with a pencil, especially if I'm doing anything letter based, because I started with hip hop, I started listening to Wu-Tang Clan and Nas, and that's where I learned to form in terms of consistency, because I was just like, oh man, that new Nas is out, so I would literally draw his name while I'm listening to his music. And then so now I'm noticing, even if I'm drawing like Chadwick Boseman, I'm listening to hip hop, and I'm typically listening to hip hop from my era, which is like that 92 to 208 area. Right.
Yeah. I have mood music. If there's a deadline, I put on no words, some type of action movie score, and I just knock it out.
I hear you. I might get attached to a particular soundtrack. So I've literally, like maybe 2 weeks ago, I was literally stuck with the Aliens Marine Escape soundtrack when all of the xenomorphs started coming off the wall.
Yeah.
When I was finishing a project because I just needed that.
Right.
I'm sitting over here drawing and making my coffee and stuff like that. And I'm running around my little studio. So yeah, I hear you on that one.
Yeah.
I guess my turn, my question, right? Art is about, in a lot of ways, legacy, what you are leaving behind. And I think I even remember you saying that maybe, you know, what you left behind was a pretty powerful episode for you. So what legacy do you want with the Black superheroes movement?
The Black Heroes movement?
Excuse me, yes.
Okay. I gave that a lot of thought recently. Education. We talk about inclusivity and equality, but if you don't even know that we exist or actively write us out of history, you want people to walk away knowing that we were present and doing it by art. Some people say, well, it's not about race when you're making a character. But then if we look at material from that genre and there is no representation there, then what is it about? We're not invisible. You know, we're present.
About the
JR.
music. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, well, we have a question from the chat. JR, the question is, which action movie scores?
I played the video game Halo. And it was 2001 when I was released, and they were doing something very big and orchestral for a video game. And Halo 1, 2, and 3. You put those on and ask me to do something, it's about to get done.
I'm going to write that down.
Right.
The flood? Oh my God. Come on
wood
now.
in the backyard, say, JR, build me a shed. You put Halo on.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there. For me, I got hit with it's something about 80s movies. So the beginning of Total Recall, when RoboCop is cruising through Detroit, those soundtracks, they'll make me finish something real quick.
I listened to RoboCop the other day, actually. I like Back to the Future.
Yes.
So here's a fairly standard question for both of you. What would your current self say to your young, just starting off self that might have saved them a little bit of extra work or pain in getting to where you are now? In other words, what advice would you offer to your younger self?
Confidence. Confidence and fear, because you're not going to take a step if you don't get over that hurdle. And confidence and fear, the hurdle is quite small. It's as big as a shoebox. You can step over that. It's not a wall that you have to climb. Yeah, you've got to move. You can't stand still.
I would say to my younger self to not think as much, do more. I was constantly in my head. I was constantly writing negative scripts all the time. Before I even got somewhere, I was saying, this person is going to say they're not going to like it, they're not going to want it, they're not going to buy it. I would, before I even talk to my parents, they're not going to hear me, they're going to think I wasted my college, they weren't even thinking that way, but I was constantly writing it. So if I was spending that time just drawing and painting, I will probably have more art and be somewhat closer to my goals. It's a little freaky. I definitely go with Star Trek when it comes to not messing with the timeline, because there's so many failures that I've had that makes me afraid now that like I don't want to say nothing to that guy. He needs to mess up all of those times, because if it's too smooth, I don't think I will even be here talking to you right now. I might be at my job because I made enough money from art, or I, you know, something put me in a different place than I am now. So I definitely would say do more, because that's something to where I can still mess up. I can probably still have my same experiences, but instead of just showing up with just myself and a cell phone, I could have showed up with a poem and 2 pieces of art and had something to talk about, you know. And there's no telling who that could have saw or who would have heard that, and that could have took me somewhere else.
Great. I think we have done some good work here today.
Always, brother.
Yeah. Thank you both for sharing your journey and your art. And I think the websites there will be links in addition to hello visitor.
Is that the nephew?
From the poster.
That's the nephew.
Oh, cool.
Oh, hey.
What's up, nephew?
Nephew.
Yeah, y'all can unmute yourself so y'all can say what's up to JR's nephew.
Yeah.
Hey, JR's nephew. Very cool.
He's even tall on his knees, Corey.
Yeah, really.
Corey, what's up, Corey? Dope pick, man. I love that on the front part of the website. You look real cool. Real
That's
dope.
great. Who's your favorite doctor?
The 11th one.
Yeah. Let me think. Is that Matt Smith?
I think it is, man.
Yeah, that's Matt Smith.
Okay.
Just
curious.
Yeah, that's when we started watching them. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I think we can go back to gallery view. I think.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Do I do that? Okay. I probably had the power to do it.
I just want to say, everybody, that Justen and JR are 2 of my favorite things about having started Sci-Fi Sisters. To meet these 2 guys, they have helped us so much with everything, you know, helping us with the Zooms, doing our banners, doing our artwork, doing stuff, just being like in the room with us. I'm like, this is our bridge crew right here for the Sci-Fi Sisters mothership. And I want all kinds of good stuff for you 2 gentlemen. This is like Black excellence right here.
Yeah, give me all of that good stuff. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Love y'all too. Need it.
Know how much we love you, and we only want good things for both of you, because you gave to us when we just asked a question, and you were like, "Well, I can do that. I can do that."
And just stuff.
Like,
here you go.
Okay, and it was just the joy after you saw us go, "Oh, wow, this is great." We appreciate you, and we love that you. I love that you signed up you're on the ship. I really love that. So very happy about that, because I think we all can do some good work. This is a good group. So anybody here who is not on the holder, just know that this is not fake. We really do like each other a lot. we talk to each other a lot
all the time.
So, yeah, and we actually support each other. So you know, what you see here is what you get. So, but I want to say thank you to Homer and JR, and I asked Homer yesterday.
Thank you.
I think he did a great
doing
job.
His Larry King in there, man.
No, he's the NPR guy.
Yeah,
it's all about the mic.
It's all about the mic. Yes.
Yes, Homer. Thank you for stepping up to help.
Yeah, sure.
That was very
thank you. Amazing.
Very wonderful of you.
Oh my God,
so much.
Jarvis
This
is
is an
scared
amazing
out of me.
panel, you guys. Thank you so much. I was bopping around in the kitchen. I just made a great dinner. I'm cooking a great dinner because you guys just inspired me. It was great.
Salmon?
Right.
Cooking is an art.
It's funny.
They go to link to join the ship.
Yeah, JR and Justin, when you were talking about the music to inspire you and to help you do your work, it's the funny thing, cosplayers do the same thing. We have special music we listen to when designing our outfits. Particularly, it's mainly based on whatever outfit we're working on, the genre or movie is from. we'll put on music to help with it, keeping it going, especially when we get close to the con and we're backlogged, and then we got to hurry up and
so do
burn
us
the oil and
writers
everything
too.
like that. And then
so do us writers. I always have a playlist going for different things. I was listening to the panel yesterday, and when she was talking about that, Regine.
She makes a playlist for her comic.
When she was talking about that playlist, I'm like, I do the same thing. I get a character or a setting or a feeling or a vibe, and I just start rolling with this playlist that keeps it going till I can get that story written. It's like, yeah, same thing.
Music is very inspirational.
Definitely. Yeah.
And there are no starving artists here because I have 2 refrigerators full of food. So no artist stars around me.
No.
I grew up around music. My dad played jazz. My brother drew. So, my mother wrote poetry and short stories. So I'm used to artists all around me. So no, there's no starving artists.
You were good, Homer.
And a good art tip, if you got too much going on, turn it off.
Okay.
So if you're like frizzing out, and you got your favorite TV show and you got your favorite song and you're still like, it's because it's giving you too much dopamine. We make, like I said, and let's get back to the ship. I'm very scientific. We make our own magic. And quite literally, chemistry, you make your own dopamine. So you also need that to create. And that's what helps you facilitate creation. So if you got a little too much of your good stuff going on, just turn it off. If you find yourself getting blocked, you can't write something, you can't draw something, and you got your music and you got your movie, turn that off, breathe, give yourself 10 or 15 minutes, and then go back into your craft, and then sneak your stuff back in afterwards. Just a tip.
When I drive on the turnpike between Pittsburgh and Detroit, because of the armored truck, when I worked on an armored truck, we couldn't have anything on, not to have distractions. So I listened to nothing but the engine noise. It's like being in the ship. Someone said, how long is the drive?
No.
Like 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, no radio. And I would come up with some of the most remarkable stories.
Yes.
Just because you have just that time and space to yourself.
It makes a difference.
Okay, so we get some background noise. Okay, Darlene, you need to send does JR get the warp ship noises too from you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because I sent to Mia, and she actually does listen to it.
JR sounds like he needs it too.
The whole music.
Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah.
YouTube.
What you said? What I listened to?
The whole music to the ship's hole.
Yes, I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
That's it. She and I are right here. Okay, she and I are right here. I have not met too many, even Star Trek fans who listen to 4 hours of the whole ship.
4 hours, right?
Wow.
That was a
You're
first
on
for
point,
me.
Jarvis.
Jarvis
thank you,
did a bleep out of me a second
I saw
ago.
that. I was trying not to laugh when you wrote that.
I went to
Because I've been over here with like
gallery
the
view and
security,
nearly
and you like,
Right. But I know it was Jarvis.
Like
That's why I was like, it's Jarvis.
He's beautiful.
I'm
I
like-
love him. I love him.
Good.
He's
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah, we're getting
Yeah,
seriously
I kept watching Justen. I was like, okay, hopefully Justen doesn't freak out.
Yeah, thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing, Justen. It's okay. It's okay. I got you.
I got you. Yes, absolutely.
I wouldn't have let him in.
What's that
I was
background?
watching, but I knew it was Jarvis. So
What's the background? I love it.
Hey, it's a $15 investment called Face Rig.
Oh,
You
that's
can
what
get
you were
it
saying in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, you
Nice.
can get it on Steam. It makes Zoom calls a lot more interesting.
Moving with his mouth and everything, man.
I was like, I like that. What is that? That was
I
the first.
never-
This is virtual. This is virtual cosplay.
I love it.
Wow.
You can save yourself
Swag.
a whole lot of money and energy.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
The costume
I have
always
to get
fits.
that.
Oh, we're gonna have to spend some
Yeah, I
cash.
think I might have to
mean,
get that.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
voice
I
is
never
so
came off
perfectly.
onto
Yeah.
gallery view and had a start like that just now. I
Yeah.
didn't know what was going on.
And we're gonna have to do this for our show, man. We're gonna have to do this, and we have to
Hi, Ayana May.
Oh,
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening to the channel.
Good night.
Thank you for everything.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
We're going to a drive-in movie. Look at that.
oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
yeah, you guys should check it out. It's in Brooklyn, 1 Oak Street. I guess they do movies there too, usually when there's no coronavirus. And it's like $55 for one car. You just put 7 people up into it and you can watch whatever you want. We're watching Black Panther
Oh,
tonight.
that's sweet.
Wakanda forever.
That's right.
Be blessed, y'all. Thanks again.
Bye
Good night.
bye.
Be safe, be safe. Enjoy.
Oh my God, it's got
Jarvis,
pause
you're killing
too.
me. Jarvis,
Bye,
you're killing me,
Sue.
Jarvis.
Have a great night.
Oh,
killing
man.
me. I
Sweet.
That's crazy. That's very
Rose
weird.
is leaving. Bye, Susan.
Thanks for hanging out, Sue.
Good night.
All
Good
right,
night.
Sue.
Thank you.
Bye,
Right.
Sue. She was here. Oh, she was here all day.
Oh my God, there were pause.
Oh, Jarvis left too.
This is out.
Did Jarvis leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left.
Yeah.
Oh God,
He was
that was
waving with his paws.
That was great.
too funny.
His mouth, when it started moving, that was it. I was done.
That was
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
right
love that.
down here.
I thought it was just like
I
a,
was looking at the pause, I was like, is
free
that-
motion movement he had. I didn't realize it was mapped.
When,
Oh.
when he first came on, he was an alien. So I kept watching him to make sure, but I let him in because his picture was Jarvis. You know, I know Jarvis it was him. But then all of a sudden, his things turned into a alien and it was moving. And I was like, what's happening here?
He just went all otherworldly on us. He just went all otherworldly.
That's it. But it was, nothing happened. And I saw it was Jarvis. And
Oh my God.
then he answered.
I
Then he
did
started
think-
answering Jada back because Jada was asking him about it. And I was like, okay, it's fine.
I thought we were
where
going
to get it, how much
bombed. I thought we were about to get bombed when
Nah,
I
we
saw
weren't about to
that.
get
Nah, he was good.
I know.
He's done
Yeah,
that.
I
I was
remember,
like,
I remember
He's done
Jarvis
weird
from the
stuff like that
beginning, right?
before. He'll just come out of nowhere and do some
nice.
weird stuff. That's why I
Now,
love him.
Was he?
He's the Black Science Fiction Society, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah. He was on
Yeah.
earlier today.
yes.
Okay.
That's the magazine.
I want to show you guys this. So as you see, I have on JR's shirt.
One of the 6.
One of 6.
One of the 6. And I want to show you the original.
Oh, yay.
Justen.
The original. I just want to keep make sure you understand that this is the original.
Yeah, that's been a
You
change.
got one. Okay, you got one of the 6 and the original. We got it.
Isn't that wonderful?
I think we got it.
Look how it pops.
Show off.
500
That's beautiful.
times.
Yeah.
Now,
Total show
JR
off.
specifically said that that Sirach's shirt was white, and there was only 6 of the white ones. Is that what you said, JR?
Negative.
No,
They're black.
but
Oh, they're black. Okay.
Black ones
black
are
with
only-
black with white writing.
Oh, you mean like the one I have?
yes.
I want to be a part of it so bad.
So
She
bad,
is part of
right?
it.
I said, what?
Show off.
She had to be
Yep,
part of
you
that
know
so
it,
bad.
Homer.
She just wanted to know she was one of the 6.
That's my nice little not so subtle way.
Right.
I'm
We got you. We got you, sis. We got you. We got you.
Right.
But JR said, I don't even have one.
in my mind.
I don't.
So how
Believe
we
me, all up in my mind.
how are we having this party on Twitch? I don't know what's gonna.
So I've been putting the thing in. I'll put it in. I have been putting the link in. I'll put it in again.
Okay. Because I can find it on Twitch. I'm on Twitch right now.
Oh, Sue's still here?
No, she just
Yeah.
left. Oh, no,
I think
Sue's here.
I think she was saying goodbye to others.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I
I mean,
see.
people
Oh,
people that
I'm
were
not
leaving.
here.
All right.
Oh,
So
no, I thought you were saying
There's Dr.
goodbye.
Gruner.
We're getting out.
I can't type and have my video on at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a brand new computer that only has 3 USB-C connectors.
Oh.
And I had a little separate thing with a power adapter for 6 things, and it broke. So I have a choice of my mouse, my camera, or my keyboard. And no, I'm not going to use my keyboard.
Nope. Got it. Yep. I have the same setup here, but my adapter works. And hopefully you'll get one soon that will do the same.
Brand new. It's not even.
I'm sorry. I empathize.
Take that shit right back to the store.
I'm going to leave out.
I got it
because
from
I
Apple.
call the wireless people. My wireless is still not back on, so I got to deal with that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll be trying to catch you guys with the DJ.
Okay.
Yeah, the party is 2 hours now. So you have time.
It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours if anybody wants to come.
Yeah.
What time are we starting?
Music.
It starts 8. And
okay,
I put it in the chat, twitch.tv/DJ Nikki. And I also posted on the ship. Huh?
Thank you. That was it.
Yeah, I posted on the ship. I made it. I'm going to make an announcement so that as soon as you go on the ship,
awesome.
It's right there. Yeah. And I put it in the chat.
I think that's
word up.
Yeah, I'm ready for it too, man. I got 3 Heinekens. Got some leftover chicken. I'm good.
That's me.
All right. Well, see y'all.
I gotta go cook some salmon.
Yeah, go cook some salmon.
Go get some grub.
Right, everybody at the
I'm
party.
gonna change
Yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, let's because I'm ready to get loose, get relaxed.
I just want to, before we go, I want to just say thank you very much to everyone that participated, especially my crew. Love you guys. And everybody that participated. I mean, people came. This was a great day. I mean,
You did a good job.
you did. I want to put all props to my EXO because you put together some really interesting people. I mean, people that no one's thinking about, but God, those people, I think they changed a lot of lives just listening to what these Black folks is doing for this world. You know, these human beings are being humans. And the thing is, they're just Black people just doing shit. I mean, I was blown away by everybody that came on, especially those women who are out there changing lives. I mean, who's thinking of they're Black women, of course, but I'm a little, you know how we do. But it was just, it was good to see. I'm so glad they were spotlighted and we got to see that, because even somebody who believes that Black women can do anything, it's still good to see them doing it. You know, and I love that. I just totally loved it. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks for all the videos that were so great.
Thank you, love. You did a great job, Justen. You kept us safe, because that's what the security are. That's what STARFLEET security is supposed to do.
Man,
thank you.
Dang.
JR, I want to say thank you for coming, because I know this is a hard time for you. We love you very, very much.
Yes.
And we want you to know that we're here for you, whatever you need. This is not a good time for JR, but he came out and did this for us. And JR is he's our newest recruit on the ship.
Yeah.
We are so happy to have you. And just remember, we're here for you, whatever you need, brother. We love you so much.
Thank you very much.
And Homer, it was good to see you, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, Homer.
It was so nice to have the second officer in the house. So,
One of the
JD, thanks for hosting
people I met from this crew.
Lower Decks this morning. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you,
Yay.
baby.
So good choice.
Yeah, so thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. We had a nice.
So I have a quick question.
This has been great.
Are we going to be able to see this stuff anywhere? Because for those of us like that had to work today and missed all the good stuff, where can we catch it?
So what's happening is, so it's been recording, and I'm going, once we log off, the system will now have to convert it, and it's going to take a while because this is an all-day recording.
Yeah,
and
this
then
is a
also
long one.
yesterday. So once that finishes, I can immediately post it on the YouTube, or I can give it to my filmmaker friend and let him fix it up a little bit, particularly to try to get out, not so much yesterday, but like what happened earlier today.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think you should
Today's
cut it up a little
but,
too.
right.
yeah.
But I know you guys want your panel. So once it finishes converting, I can send that to you. You can have your person fast forward to your panel, clip that out, and then send it back to me, and then I'll send it to my filmmaker to fix up today's recording. Yesterday's recording I'll post on the YouTube, and then I'll give you. I'll post the link to the YouTube on the ships page and in the chat. But for today's recording, only because of what happened today, I want to give it to my filmmaker and let him squash that out.
Favor, when you send it to Sabrina, because she's the one that'll take care of that.
Yeah.
SY FY Sistas.
Yeah, and so just have your guy like quickly pull out your part and then send it back to me so I can give it to my filmmaker friend to fix it up, and then I can post it on YouTube without all that other mess. Yeah. Okay. But I want to thank you, security team, because this was a lesson to me that you can't please everybody. And like I said, I know people couldn't get in because of the controls that I had, and they were people that I knew. So I felt bad, and that's why I removed the control. But then you see what happened.
Yeah, don't feel bad. You were doing what you were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but I don't, because see, when you mess up my stuff, it's lucky that I can't get my hands on you, because then you definitely would. CO would definitely have to put someone else in charge, because I'll be in jail. I don't, that's the one part about me. All my friends will tell you, don't mess with my friends. Don't mess with my people. You can do whatever you want to me, but don't mess with my people, because now I'm gonna take you out. Okay. So I was very calm. I was surprised. I was surprised I was very calm. But I already told my family, and they're doing their prayers. They're doing their prayers. So I do thank you for stepping in like that and everything. But yeah, I think everything went good. We learned a lot. So this is practice, because we're going to be doing more of these, and then we have time when we'll be doing this live. So everybody helped out. Yes, and all the people were wonderful and great. A lot of these people I've known for years. So when you do something like this, start with the people you know. Yeah. Soon we'll have big names and everything, but it's good to just start with the people you know.
We didn't need a big name.
We didn't need. Well, we have a good time.
You had big mouths.
We were celebrating Black History Month, not trying to be the place where you saw celebrities. We were trying to really celebrate the people who are Black history heroes for today, tomorrow, yesterday. Actors aren't always those people.
That's right.
I learned so much
people
today.
that really do things in the community. That's what Black History Month is about.
Yes.
Today touched my heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what Ann and I wanted. That's why we put in there about the Black military first, and the STEM, and about the ladies, because we wanted to have that history. Star Trek is fanciful, but for me, Star Trek is real, because what it's about, it applies to bettering life and bettering humanity. And so everybody from the artists, the writers, Oren and Marie, that's what they're all about, helping to better humanity through art, or through, helping to increase people's food production and whatever. So that's what I wanted this celebration to be about. So yeah, you're right. It was about stars and stuff like that.
Thank you, Darlene. This has been so educational.
Yes, thank you, Darlene.
Yes, and we'll get ready to party.
I learned so much. It was great.
Get that one going.
Thank you. And Yvette, I learned so much too. Thank you so much, Yvette. Everything. Yvette, Darlena, Sabrina, everybody. I learned so much today. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's nice to
I'm
hear.
so happy that you did. I'm glad we came back with something. So.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, it's time to party.
All right.
Yeah.
No, we got the party tomorrow.
8 o'clock.
Yeah.
See everybody.
See you on Twitch.
See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
I posted a lot. I posted in our page. I posted on my page.
I saw that. Great job.
I'm already following it, so I might be in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start posting this some more places too.
Okay. We don't have to worry about any type of bombing in Twitch, right?
Well, it's her channel. So she has all those controls set in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been to her parties before, and there never was any problem. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
All right. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Love you. Thank you.
Love you guys. I'll be the last one out.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good night. Oh, I'll talk to you later.